Krypton, Episode 7, Transformation. I'm Joe from the Joe and Richie channel. Please subscribe to our channel. We got a lot of great videos coming up. Pop reviews, film reviews, movie reviews. Please check us out. We'd love to have you along for the ride. This is the 7th episode of Krypton. The first episode made me think the show was going to be just an absolute disaster, but it's gotten much better. Thanks mostly in part to the female leads. They've been the shining stars of the show. But we have a new shining star, and that is Brainiac. He's great. He's a proper villain. Proper villain, the way he's being portrayed. His voice, the way he's sitting there, his little wry smiles. He's just fantastic. He's an absolutely fantastic villain. So we finally have a male shining star in this show, and it is the villain. So this show has a lot of potential, and it's starting to fulfill it a little bit. At the end of the last episode, the coup orchestrated by the Vexes and supported by Jow Zod failed because the coups were too late. Brainiac has already overtaken the voice of Rao. He sucked himself into the Sagittari, including and very predictably Dev, who they try to make you think wasn't, but it was kind of obvious that he was in already and he was following Lyta to get to Jaina. The coup fails. Darren Vex goes there. The big reveal that he is Brainiac to him. He pledges his support. Essentially, all the players now know that Brainiac is there. Everybody. All the main characters. There's nobody who does not know about Brainiac at this point, which is good. So it's all out in the open, so at least we see where the cards are going to fall from there. The only people who do not know this at the end, which is the interesting part of the episode, are the people of Kandor, but everybody else, all the major players, know. Very cool. So the first cool part is obviously the part where Darren goes to assassinate his own daughter. That's some cold stuff right there. She kind of sees it coming, tricks him, and then they have a really cool conversation where, you know, about like, I thought I was different, I didn't think you were gonna assassinate me and all that. So her character got the shine in this episode. Seg shows up to save her because he feels obligated to her because she was willing to save Lyta. After some cool scenes in which they kind of hold him at bay, the two idiots allow him to escape. Which was pretty silly, but it happened. You knew it was going to happen. There's no way they were just going to have him under wraps for 3 episodes to go. Lyta goes with Dev, who you kind of know is under the influence of Brainiac, but they hide it to find Jaina. They find Jaina. He reveals himself. Fight ensues, and then Lyta blows off his arm. And they appear to leave him for dead in the wastelands. So I'm sure he's going to be back in some capacity. That probably wasn't smart. They probably should have really just murdered him outright, like shot his head off. That eventually leads to the little group forming of Seg and Nyssa and Lyta and Jaina, and they all know about Brainiac, and they're going to have to form their little crew. And it's a whole little like, you can't trust him, that one can't trust you thing, but that's all inconsequential. You never know. Anybody could turn on anybody at any moment in this little crew, but we'll see about that. Brainiac's fantastic. He's really living up to his name. He's like a master manipulator, a master tactician. Adam Strange is basically in the Fortress of Solitude acting like a little whiny baby until Val-El pep talks him into doing what his mission is or whatever, and then Adam Strange decides, okay, I'm going to go along with it. I'm going to kill General Zod and let Krypton be destroyed. So I guess Adam Strange is kind of going to be an adversary going forward. Time travel is a very weird thing. If you go back in time to change something, you can't convince the people to destroy themselves. It's not like in it's not like they've never done it in a Star Trek movie. Star Trek movie or television shows, when they go back in time and they try not to alter the timeline or try to change the timeline, they can never convince the people they have to destroy themselves. I've never seen that. you know, there was obviously City on the Edge of the Forever where they have to let the girl get run over by a car. Okay, that has to happen, but they didn't tell her you have to get run over by a car. They didn't tell her you have to let yourself get killed. That's not the way it goes. You have to allow things to unfold. You can't tell the people they have to let themselves die because people aren't going to allow themselves to die. So his little storyline's a little weird in what he's hoping to accomplish by telling them they have to be destroyed. But now he's going to, I guess, try to make it happen. All right, well, that at least makes somewhat sense. As for the ending, that was really cool. The end of the episode, it's the end of the Nova Cycle. He's going to put up the voice of Ra has to put up the Nova Cycle flames. Zod, Seg, and Lyta, coalition of the Willings, little plan is that they're going to shoot at the voice of Ra at the Nova Cycle celebration ending to get him to unveil himself to the crowds, so they know that this is not actually the voice of Ra, but some kind of interdimensional monster. And just as they're about to do it, one of his little tattooed ladies throws him under the bus, or attempts to, saying, "This is a monster, this isn't a man, blah, 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 blah." And then he does the coolest thing ever. He steps into the flames and says, "I have transformed," and essentially turns into what looks like the sun god. It looks like he's not the voice of Ra, it looks like he is Ra, the god, and everybody loses their crap. Oh my god, they just lose it. So now their plan to turn the people against him failed, and the people are completely for him. So that's fantastic too. So he's fantastic. Brainiac is a proper villain, proper villain. The way he sits there, the little wry smiles, the way he talks, his plan at the end, which is really good stuff. What he pulls off at the end, great villain, good show. The female leads carry it. Brainiac, though, has definitely stepped up and been fantastic. Thank God for that. Nyssa was great. Lyta and Jaina. Cool stuff with Jaina was that first she asked Lyta, "Why didn't you tell me about this, Brainiac? Why did, if you and Seg knew about this, why didn't you tell me?" And she's like, "Well, you wouldn't have listened." And she's like, "I know. Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't have listened." And then he asked General Zod, "Why didn't you just come right to us?" She's like, "Oh, I didn't think you would listen." So everybody's basically informing Jaina of what a hard ass she is. The General Zod character's okay. Not as good as Brainiac, but obviously the female leads carry it, and the Vex girl is fantastic. She just really had a great episode, and she kicks ass. She made a comment about learning to kick that ass from a lover who was a girl, so that's yummy right there. But anyway, great episode. Really looking forward to 8, 9, and 10, and I'm looking forward to having you along to watch them. So once again, please subscribe to the Joe and Richie channel. I'm Joe. Until next time.